Welcome to People with Purpose. I am your host, Sylvain Rochon. I'm a speaker, an author, a serial entrepreneur, and a business strategist. My purpose is to engineer a paradise on Earth using cutting-edge technology. I hope this show will give you excellent examples of individuals that chose to do great things in their personal and professional lives. Perhaps they will inspire you to follow in their footsteps. The show's format is very simple. I ask my guests 3 simple questions. What is your personal purpose? Why is it important to you? And how did you get started? Now let's hear from our guest.
Hello, Sherman. How are you?
Hi, Sylvain. Nice to hear from you. I'm doing well here in Malaysia. It's nighttime. I guess it's the daytime over there, right?
It's in early morning here. Yeah, it's always a bit of an issue going with the time differences, but it's great. I'm great to be. It's great to see you because it's been a while. We've known each other for about 10 years, and just for the audience purpose, this is Sherman Chin. He's in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Known each other for about 10 years when we both were starting our game businesses back. I was more of a newbie and he was more experienced, and we worked together. So he's the founder of Sherman 3D. That's the software, the game software business he started way back when. He's also a principal at 1337 Ventures. You're taking care of game startups. It's like an incubator over there. And he also does some work as an external examiner at the Lim Kok Wing University. So, of course, educating fresh, brand new minds in the game space on how to get out into the world and start their own businesses or just get hired by companies way over there. So very strong experience in the game space. Also had some experience working with government, I remember, in Malaysia and different organizations, at least some recognitions from organizations over there. So a really cool guy. And I wanted to introduce Sherman to you guys because behind the veneer of professionalism, if you want to call it that, there is a very interesting man. So Sherman, I'd like you to tell us what is your personal purpose in life? Like, why do you do what you do?
That's a really interesting question, Sylvain. When you ask me that, I have been thinking about that recently, and it's something that has driven me, the purpose in my life, right? I've always wanted to find out the truth in life, the purpose of life itself. So my purpose in life previously was to find out what my purpose was. So it's sort of like a question and a question, right? I did find out the truth for myself, right? So that is something that I would like to share with others right now. So if you ask me what my purpose is, basically it's more to sharing my philosophy of life right now. And maybe what I can do is actually share that philosophy right now while we are talking, right?
No, please. That's why we're here. Like, share with us.
So to me, I have grown up in quite a religious sort of, with some background growing up. And I wanted to find out my true purpose in life. And to me, that came with more going through religion, going through martial arts. I think a lot of people do that to find out their purpose in life. For me, to find that philosophy of life, it took me through Christianity, through Buddhism, and through, like Zen, martial arts. Mm-hmm. I had to experience life itself. So that was a really interesting question brought up to Buddha before. I mean, this is a legend, so I'm not sure whether how accurate it is, but the whole point is the metaphor. When Buddha was asked, what exactly is the purpose of life and how is it taught? Then when Buddha told his students, he said, when you want to experience life, first, I have to teach you how to, so let's say we ask, how do you grow like what is a watermelon, right? So the first thing is, how do you grow a watermelon? First, you have to plant the seeds, and then you have to go water the seeds, and you will grow into a watermelon plant. So that is more like the theoretical part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to know what a watermelon is fruit that if you cut it, it's red inside, it's really juicy, and that's the description. So that is like, at first it was the routine of how to do things. Then this is like a study of the thing that you do. And finally, what exactly is the experience of it? You just have to eat it, right? When you eat it, So everything cannot be explained in words alone, right? So the words alone, like religion, like philosophy, they are just like a finger pointing to the actual truth, but it's not the truth itself. So no matter what I say, you cannot experience the truth without experiencing it yourself, right? And how do you actually experience it? That's really interesting, because you need to go through life, through the ups and downs of life, to experience what you would know as the truth to yourself. And this truth will make you confident about whatever you face. Some people find this in religion, some people find this in philosophy. People just come up with things to feel confident, to make themselves confident, right? So now back to my philosophy of life. It's what I call great doubt. It's not great faith. Great faith is actually quite related to great doubt, right? I'm not talking about just doubt alone, but great doubt, right? So you don't just believe in one thing so much that you ignore everything.
All right.
In great doubt, you give everything a belief, like you allocate some beliefs to everything, so that you do everything, in a bit of everything, right? So you do not. The thing with this is that you are not so, let's say, attached to just one thing alone. Because if that one thing alone crumbles one day, or somehow that belief is broken, then sort of lose your self-confidence, right? So to me, it's about at least giving everything a chance, right? And then when you have that, you have acceptance of everything, and then that way you have a lot of self-confidence, I guess. To me, I have broken down this philosophy of mine into 3 points. Number one is that life itself is a chain of cause and effect, right? Some people know this as karma, but to me, it's not the mystical karma, but the one that is quite logical. Basically, if you do something, it results in something else. So there's a chain of cause and effect. If you know this and you do something which goes against society, then obviously there are repercussions, right? And something bad, then something bad might happen to you. It's not something mystical, but it's something that is triggered by your mind itself, because the way that you think affects your life entirely. So I believe that the mind is really powerful, and knowing this rule of cause and effect will help you lead a better life. So point number 2 is that attachment causes us suffering. So when we attach ourselves too much to anything, like I said before, if we have too much faith in just one thing alone, then if that faith is broken, then we are just completely broken ourselves, right? Sometimes if, like, in love, we love someone too much and that person leaves us, then we just have no reason to live anymore, right? Or like it's sort of like a philosophy that we believe in, and that doesn't work anymore. Somehow one day we just proven to us that's not true. Like some people believe that the earth is flat or whatever, right? And it's not true. It just breaks us completely. So to me, attachments causes suffering, right? So whenever we attach to things, whenever we attach to people, whenever that's gone, then that's suffering. So we always try to make sure that these things that we are attached to are not taken away from us. The beliefs are not taken away from us. So we argue with people about our own belief system, and we think that we are always right, but we don't give a chance for other people to talk about their beliefs, their political views, whatever it is, right? Sometimes I believe that if we give the chance to people to talk about their views and we understand them, then that's something that we learn ourselves. It might not be necessarily something that we agree with, but if we just give the chance to other people, then it helps to build our own self as well.
So it seems to me like it's keeping an open mind.
Yes, exactly.
On life, like in general, on everything that is surrounding us, and keeping it, like you said, it's like the great doubt. Everything is in doubt. Nothing is in certainty. Yeah. Everything is transitional. Is that correct?
Exactly. So to me, everything is relative rather than absolute, right? Because we live in this world based on our 5 senses, right? Yeah. And we can perceive up to these 5 senses. Right, they say you have 6 sense, but that 6 sense is, our mind. I believe that it's our mind that connects all our 5 senses, right? Yeah. But then again, what if we meet some aliens who have, that lives in a different dimension and stuff, right? They perceive things completely differently. Or even say, even the bacteria living in us is like a completely different ecosystem, even inside our bodies, right? So we are like the host of the bacteria in our bodies. So there's just so many planes of existence, right? So we don't know how many dimensions are there. And we just can't perceive those dimensions, right? So the truth to us is just relative to our 5 senses. So to me, back to my second point again, attachments causes us suffering. So always a degree of suffering in whatever we are attached to. So number 3, my third point is that how do we overcome these sufferings in life? Because how do we be happy, right? As you can see, I'm quite a happy person. So how I apply that philosophy to be happy is to accept things, to accept our reality as it is, to accept that sometimes we can't always agree with everything, to accept that there are people who have differences with us, and to accept that life itself is not easy. There's always suffering. So when you accept suffering, the paradox is that it doesn't become suffering anymore. There is pain. Don't get me wrong, there is pain. Life is painful, but if you can accept that pain, then it's not suffering. So even though we are poor, even though we are sad, and as long as we continue to live in the moment and to accept the moment as it is, then we just work towards what we can do step by step, gradually, right? And to me, that's how we overcome that suffering. So it doesn't mean that we do not have attachments at all, because if we do not have any attachments, then probably we become monks. I mean, I tried that out, right? I tried meditation. I did a lot of stuff. In fact, I have a YouTube channel on that as well. You can check that out. That's youtube.com/Sherman Chin. And that somewhere over here. But I have that channel to talk about my philosophy and how great doubt can work in life, and how to overcome attachments and love, and loss of love, stuff like that. But when we accept things, then we are happy, right? So right now I'm involved in a lot of things. I make my game, Alpha Kimori, and that is actually a game about great doubt. So that's why it's called Alpha Kimori Great Doubt. So that game sold about 50,000 copies, and I'm glad that a lot of people have learned about great doubt through that game, because when I first started, I wrote a book about it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I wrote a book, but then I discovered that the book is, nobody wants to just read philosophy like that, right? So, and as I said earlier, it's an experience. So you can't really just explain to people the philosophy. You have to experience it. But how do I convey the experience? So what I did was I created Alpha Kimori as a game where you play it and you experience the game, right? Yeah. And you feel the feelings of the characters in the game. And then through that, you sort of understand that life is suffering, and to overcome that suffering, you have to accept things. And that's how I convey that message through my game. So that's also part of the reason why I started a game development company. I wanted to convey my philosophy to the world.
It's for you a way to communicate.
Yeah, exactly.
To something you love, because I know like both of us are big game fans and game making and designing. Something that we really enjoy, and that's your way, your voice in a way to express some of these ideas. And why is like if you can tell me or summarize, like why is Great Tao, this philosophy that you call Great Tao, why is it important to you, which you already touched on, but more importantly, why would it be important for others? Because others obviously don't have your past and your experiences, and so why is it important in general, do you think?
Okay, to me, if someone already has a belief system, I'm not the kind of person who goes like, hey, this is my belief system, you should believe in my belief system. After all, it's Great Tao. It's not something like great faith. I have to tell you that this is my belief system, it's the only way. It's not the only way. There are many paths up the mountain. You can have your own system, it's fine. If everything works out for you, it's fine. Because some people have their belief system and they're happy with life, it's fine. But what if you're not happy with life and you are asking yourself, like, what can I do with life? And I've discovered a lot of people in that transitional point where they are wondering what to do with their lives, or they're at a loss. They have lost someone in their lives, whether it's it's love, because of that relationship problems and stuff like that. So the thing with my philosophy is that if you come aboard and you play my game and it helps you, then that's really good for you, right? It's not something that is forced upon you. If you like it and you can apply it in your life, then to me, I've done my job. I really like to share that kind of philosophy with people and hope that it helps everyone to be more self-confident and to be able to make their best out of life. Because there are some people I know who, this is kind of sad, but they would like to take their lives. They don't believe that, that life is worth living for. But, when you accept things, right? When you accept the moment as it is, it's just like meditation, right? Meditation teaches you to be in the moment, right? And I actually tried meditation like the monk style, to give up everything, to give up all attachments and stuff. I discovered that you reach a point where some people like to call it enlightenment, right? And to me, I've reached the point of enlightenment. I put in quotes, right? Because a lot of people have different versions of what enlightenment is. But to me, it's the point where I have the sudden understanding that life is just as it is, right? There's no real meaning, there's no real purpose except the ones that you create yourself. That's why it's so special, because if you create your own meaning, you create your own purpose, then you have all the freedom of living in this life, right? This life is like, it's just like some challenge thrown to you. And if you can just live in the moment, you're able to face the challenges, and you're just happy as it is, then no matter where you are, like if you are suddenly put in another dimension, you're able to face that. So I'm not sure if there's life after death. I'm not even going to speculate. But the point is, if there is life after death, then you are even prepared for that, right? So you can't just kill yourself. And what happens if there's something after that, right? And then you're gonna keep killing yourself in every dimension.
Are you still? Yeah. If you're, you're right. Like, a lot of the after death believers, right? Whatever the origin, and they believe that the after you die, it's whatever the other life is, it's eternal, it's forever, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to be like, what kind of state do you want to be in forever? Do you want to be a depressed person, or do you want to be like a balanced, happy person forever?
Yes.
I agree. So if I could boil down to something, I think that you said pretty critical, is that this is your personal philosophy, your own discovery for yourself. You're sharing with
Yeah.
others that ask for it or read about it or experience it through Alpha Kimori or other means, maybe your YouTube channel. But basically, if I think what you're saying is that like happiness is what is important. So whatever that means for people. They can find it in many. Maybe they can find it in the great doubt type of philosophy or mentality. But some people find it quite well in Christianity, Buddhism, and atheism, and whatever it is, right? And that's the most important part, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So to me, it's that you don't have to be happy in the future. A lot of people are like asking you, how do I be happy? What are the steps to be happy? I mean, a lot of people have asked me that.
Yeah.
But my point is that, to be happy, you just be happy. Because if you can be happy right now, that's all works, right? It's all in your mind. I mean, I know some people would say, hey, it's you can't just say it's all in your mind. But the point is, if you can accept the moment, then you can be happy. So it's not so much about happiness. The word happiness sometimes is like overrated, because accepting the moment is being able to accept being bored, even to being able to accept the pain that you feel right now, right? Can you be happy when you are in pain? But you can't really be happy when you're in pain, but you can accept that you are feeling pain, right? And you can do something about it, because a lot of people who are in pain just like stop doing anything. It's like, oh, I'm in pain, I just want to die. But if you're in pain and you can do something about it, like right now, then you should do something about it. Because when you do something about it in the moment, right, that moment translates to moment after moment, and your life can only progress from there, right? So to me, that's what's important: accepting every moment and just gradually do things that makes you become who you want to be.
Yeah, that's. I think that's super powerful, and I'm curious about the past. I'd like to roll back to your past, because you mentioned a little bit of this has been a process of discovery for you. You weren't born with this idea. Oh, great doubt, great. Let's do that, right? It took a certain amount of life experiences, as you said. So, for the viewers out there, like what? Can you give us a little bit like landmarks in your life where you started, like, either by age or by year? By age would be more practical, because I know maybe you have some young people watching that have not experienced life. Like I'm 43, I've experienced life. I have a process. I've gone through stages, just like you have.
Yeah.
So I'd like to give people an idea of, well, when did you realize first that you should start in that path? Like what happened and when?
That's an interesting question, because my life, when I was young, I was really introverted. I didn't have that many friends, and I was really weak. I'm a really weak person when I was young. In fact, now I'm quite old. Oh, I look young, but I'm not really young.
I'm quite old, he says.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention my age, but I'm old. I am old. I'm about your age, Subin. I'm around your age.
Well, don't say that you're old then. I'm not old either. But anyway, go on.
Okay. No, but you see, I'm not saying that you're old. I'm saying that a lot of people somehow think I'm a teenager, right?
Yeah.
They think I'm still in school, because of the way I'm dressed, and also because I do a lot of workout. So I'm happy. Yeah, that's really important, because I tend to feel that when I was stressed, I look older before. So now that I'm happy, actually, there's some sort of like a age reversal thing. I don't know how that happened, but I used to have like lots of wrinkles, and then when I started being happy, the wrinkles sort of disappeared. Like I didn't have anything on my face, it just disappeared. I don't know how I did that, but it just happened. When you're happy, you have less stress, things like that happen. So I can be the proof of that. So anyway, back to the question. When I was around 20 years old, I decided that I'm going to take martial arts, right? I wanted
About
to
10 years
be
old.
stronger.
Okay.
20 years.
Oh, 20. Okay.
So when I was so when I was around 20, maybe slightly younger, I think it was 17, right? But 20 was when I sort of mastered like Aikido. I got a black belt in Aikido.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through Aikido because it's quite a philosophical kind of martial art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps me being able to use that philosophy to be able to because in Aikido it's about harmonizing with your opponent. So you are using the force of your opponent against them. It's a bit like judo, but in judo, you push, you pull, that kind of like what you call the opposite, right? Opposite force. Someone pushes you, you pull that person. Someone pulls you, you push that person, right? But in Aikido, you harmonize. Someone pushes you, you turn. So you harmonize with that person. So it's like a circular thing, a bit like Tai Chi, right? So that kind of philosophy helped me a lot as well. So come back to the question about that, being able to learn that philosophy, being able to put it in practice. Because when people attack me, I am able to rechannel their energy, right? And that helped me to understand my my purpose in life as well. Because it's not about always competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's not competition with other people. It's always competition with yourself only. Okay, so it's
your
not really.
First experience, I guess, in transition of mentality, actually came from the activity of Aikido, which is redirecting energy, and you kind of learn by physical interaction at first.
Yes, it's really strange. Because in Aikido, you get to practice with a lot of people, and you get to learn a lot of, like the characteristics of different people. Some people are more aggressive towards you, right? And you learn that, if you're not aggressive towards them, but you're able to channel that energy to make them less aggressive, then you are able to harmonize with them. And that harmonization is the whole core philosophy in Great Dao as well.
Yeah.
Right? To accept that, hey, there's this aggressive guy coming towards you, so you have to be able to redirect that energy. So sometimes, yes, you have to have some aggression because there's like this huge force coming towards you. You have to be able to have that slight aggression to meet that force. And then when you harmonize, then you are able to rechannel the energy. So that's how it works. And okay, so going back to the question again. So after martial arts, it's during that same time when I was like 20 plus, I also became an entrepreneur, right? And I started really. And I discovered that when, to be an entrepreneur, it's a life that's not stable, right? There's always ups and downs, and that's a lot of heartache. I'm sure you know because you're an entrepreneur yourself, okay? Yeah, so we actually have been through the ups and downs together as well, right? So I discovered through that process, I also learned about, it adds to my philosophy, right? I discovered how do I get past the really downtime, the times when I had depression, I was totally down, like everything is against me. How do I get out of there, right? And having that philosophy in Aikido helped, but also having my own philosophy, being able to meditate, being in the moment, I discovered that being an entrepreneur is like a trip to being like, it's the same as being a monk, right? Because there's just a lot of things that sort of adds the stress and that pressure on you, right? And I discovered that if I'm able to meditate, I'm able to just stay focused, be in the moment, and just do what I have to do each and every moment, I can get through every stage. And then, back to your question again, right? I did a lot of outsourcing work. That was really stressful. There's a lot of politics in my company. I decided that, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop just doing outsourcing. I'm going to make my own game. Then I made Alpha Kimori. That's when I sold my game, and then people were like happy. I had like fans from all over the world. There was this young tiger who learned English through Alpha Kimori, learned philosophy through Alpha Kimori, and today she has played the game for 7 years. She started when she was 10. Just last week, she was telling me that, Alpha Kimori has like affected my life so much, and it has taught me English. It has made me want to become a game developer, which she's going to be.
Wow.
And she wants to help me to make Alpha Kimori a better game for the next generation. So I'm like, wow, this is like my purpose in life. So I guess that's around like 30 plus, when 30 plus years old, then everything consolidated, like the whole meaning of life and everything just consolidated to me. And I just have my own purpose in life, my own philosophy now. I'm very sure of it. Like if I were to be placed in front of God, and if you believe in the concept of God, right? Because to me, I'm a pantheist. So what that means is that I believe that a whole universe is God, because like for God to exist and to be omnipotent, then God must be the entire universe, or at least can fill the entire universe and be more than that, right? So anything more than that is beyond our comprehension. So God is the universe itself to me, right?
Okay.
God is the universe itself. Anything more than that is beyond our comprehension, doesn't make sense, right? So to me, to have that God, the omnipotent being, right, is the universe itself. So when I had that belief, when I had that understanding, right, it just made me completely sure about everything. It's like I am part of God, right? I'm part of this universe. I add to this universe, and so do you, right? Whoever is listening to us right now, right? So don't be like, I'm so insignificant. I don't have to be in this universe, but you are in this universe, and no matter how small, you still affect the universe as a whole. It's like a little pebble that you throw into a pond, right? It creates ripples. It's the same thing, right? So our existence in this universe makes the universe. So yeah, it just hit me. And this is the kind of philosophy that I want to share with everyone right now. I hope that it helps someone who's like depressed right now and is able to face life with this philosophy of mine.
Well, I'm hoping this is part of the purpose of the People with Purpose series, is showing examples of individuals that have figured it out in their own way, like you have, and to be examples for others, especially younger individuals that still have a lot to learn about the universe and life and things, and maybe they can pick up on what you're saying and learn something, and maybe it can trigger something inside them, and they can create their own path, right? And we're hoping all be happy in the universe in their own way. Happy people make life interesting and beautiful, right? That's all. I think that's what everyone wants. Nobody wants sad, depressed, angry people all around them. So my hope is that you will be influencing some people through the channel. So
I hope so.
Well, yeah. Well, so thanks a lot, Sherman, for sharing all this with us. And well, maybe we'll catch up again another time on another topic. Well, who knows?
Definitely. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
This has been an excellent interview. So all the best there. I hope that people are influenced by this and it helps someone. So, yep, let's go from here.
That's what it's about. Thanks, Sherman.
I hope you enjoyed the interview. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, comment, like, and share. Please join me also on Clubify, a social app allowing us to share ideas and where you can participate in some of my projects. The link is in the section below. Also, if you wish to recommend someone great I should interview, please let me know. And as always, follow your passion. See you next week.